Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nerds at Large Anime Gauntlet for Spring 2021. I am Jeff Mayo. This man is Darby Hallman. And somewhere else in the world is Alex Boone.
50% of all anime have been made after the year 2010.
Oh wow.
Poggers.
I believe that.
Yeah, that's a real frightening fact.
This shit started probably 70s or 80s or something, right?
There was some in the 60s as well.
Damn.
And before then, yeah, over 50% of all anime have been the last 10 years.
I believe it. There's so much.
There's so much now.
Yeah, we straight up have anime that seems like it's written by an algorithm at this point.
Yeah. No, I feel like, when I look back at what anime was made late 90s, early 2000s and stuff, and kind of look what happens. Like, oh yeah, it's just the really popular stuff. Like, it was more of an event, I guess, to get an anime. Now it's like, okay, you're somewhat popular. Here's an anime.
Yeah.
Anime is also much more long running back then as well.
Yes.
Like whenever it did become an anime.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different factors. This also, I will say, does not include OVAs or movies as well.
Mm-hmm.
These are just shows, which OVAs were a lot more popular because instead of getting a full anime show, would just get an OVA of an arc, and that would promote their manga.
Well, it seems like right now, even if you just devote yourself to one type of anime, there's still too much for you to watch. Like, you still have to be...
Especially if you like whatever's popular at the time. Then you get at least half a dozen of those kind of shows every season.
It's absurd. I don't know how any of these shows get noticed, and I guess a lot of them probably don't.
Yep, I think it's a lot more common for anime to fall through. That's the reason anime used to not fall through the cracks. Like, any popular anime would just be noticed because it's one of the few things coming out in the anime scene at the time. Now it's kind of easy just to fall through the cracks.
That's why Alex and I are waiting for second seasons of Killing Bites and Hinamatsuri.
Yep.
You mean those didn't blow up?
No, they should have.
We're not going to have like an amusement park for Killing Bites where you just go through and people are dressed up as the animals?
Yeah.
Animal people? Are the animal people?
They're animal people.
Animal people.
They're animals. They're people with the DNA of certain animals.
Hell yeah, dude. Is it like Jurassic Park, but they're people? Do they have like a play, or is everyone like this?
A lot of people are.
Nah.
Okay.
They basically, these people are just used as like cockfighting.
All right, Killing Bites. Let's talk about Killing Bites for this whole episode.
Yeah.
Alex and I can do it.
Yeah. Here, I have my honey badger facts pulled up.
Jeff, what the hell is this show?
This is a show where we watch anime, and we may or may not like the anime. If we don't like the anime, we kill it by throwing it off a metaphorical cliff.
That's right.
But we have gotten through 5 of those anime. We have tossed 5 to their deaths.
Yeah.
And we are left with 5. And we did not do an episode last week, so we're doing 2 episodes.
Doubling up for last week's and this week's episodes of these 5 shows. That's all right. I mean, so last year, we went a week without killing anything because we couldn't.
Yes.
We didn't have the option. Now we get to see if that's actually going to hold true.
Yes. If the whole skipping week happened like a week earlier, Darby might have protested.
Yeah, but I'd be like, no, guys, I really think we got to make this happen.
Even if we just do quick notes.
Yeah, I'd be like driving to the beach just on speakerphone, like, yeah, sure, just kill it. All right, cool, bye. Oh boy. Well, Jeff, let's get started.
Okay, we're gonna talk about 86, episode 7 and 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff happened.
Everyone's dead.
It's true, everyone did die. I was trying to think, okay, well, how'd this thing start? Lena went to,
Fireworks.
The first episode, fireworks. Lena going to a festival and being like, this shit sucks. I'm wearing a dark dress. Okay, let's talk to my soldier friends. They're enjoying fireworks. And then they died.
And then in a very dramatic scene, as they go out on a mission, they get fucking mortared.
Yep.
And as one by one, as they get hit by mortars, it flashes them playing in the fireworks.
Yep.
That particular person.
Yes.
So now we are left with 5.
Yes. So I was a little confused by that between the 2 episodes, because at the end of or at the end of episode 7 or the start of episode 7 or whatever, they definitely showed more of them. And then in episode 8, they only showed the main 5.
I for some whenever they showed more of them, I think they were like, because the compound they go back to is filled with more than just their unit. I know were in that field where they shot the fireworks, but I think it was more than just their units that was there. That's what I was thinking what happened, because I do agree with you.
Yeah.
At first, I thought the same thing.
They were a little confused by that. I mean, the easy answer is they went on another mission, they died, I guess, potentially, or,
Yeah, I don't think anything happened in between them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, it's in the grand scheme of things, they very quickly and unceremoniously, just episode by episode killed off this whole team, but I did feel like we got to see enough of this team for that to be decently impactful when that did happen. Even though Jeff pointed out, it's like, I'm glad I didn't pay super close attention to the concept
art.
or whatever, the art, because it's the 5 that make it.
I was going to say that. It's like, I really didn't know who was going to die, and then I saw the art after it was about 2 episodes ago, and I was like, okay, so these are the important ones. These are the ones I will live.
At least for a while. At least for this season, maybe. Till the final episode. Which, 86 has less episodes and everything, so really got 3 more after these.
I know, that's crazy. I mean, I've kind of been expecting this whole time that this show of all of these, I think, is going to end with very few questions answered and lots of things open. I think this is very much going to be a part 1 to all of this. I feel like there's probably going to be one big thing where it opens up and you see they leave or something, or Lena joins them or something like that's going to happen.
Well, as far as leaving, they technically did that at the end of 8.
True. Yeah, true.
Pretty much, it ended okay, we're leaving this. We're the only 5 left, so kind of what's the point, at least partly doing this. Our commander wants to go kill his brother, so let's go with him. I guess, their way one final mission.
Yeah, which
Won't die anyways.
Brother is obviously aware of what's going on in robot form, which was interesting.
Yes, he seems to. I mean, they've kind of mentioned, I guess we'll see maybe to the extent, always mentioned, I forget the name of it, his special model is
Shepherd.
Shepherd is more special, so I think it makes sense that he's more cognizant of things, especially compared to all the other ones. I can't remember the one they keep on mentioning who died. The first one who died in, we heard her dying thing, where it seems like it's only their dying words.
Right.
Where this one seems to, for the brother, seems to be more, actually cognizant and saying more things.
I'm wondering, is he still in his right mind? Is he just that much of a dick, or is he being warped in some way?
I imagine warped if he's can pretty much still killing things even his brother and all that kind of stuff.
He's like, come on, brother.
It's kind of like it's the robots, or at least my read on it, the Legion or whatever, kind of twisted what his desires into, hey, you doing what we want will actually get you what you want kind of way.
Yeah, that's why I still want to know who's behind all of this at the other side.
Oh yeah, by the way, save.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll save this one. I don't know about y'all.
Okay, yeah.
I guess just everyone's just speak up when we start talking about it. If you're gonna kill it at this point, we're at the point where it's it's a whole lot of theatrics for nothing at this point. So just speak up if you're gonna kill something.
I am gonna kill Taxi. Just saying.
All right,
don't test me. Don't test me.
I would come on here and at the end of the episode I'd be like, all right, y'all can sign off. I'm gonna talk about Taxi. But I am still like really, really liking the show a lot, and I think you could tell in episode 8 it was definitely like the animation looked different. It was obvious this was like this is one of the main episodes. You know, it's like
Yeah, people kind of more twisted anime-esque expressions where everything was kind of more subtle throughout the rest of the series.
yeah, which I think it worked here. I'm kind of glad that the whole show isn't like that. But, you know, I kind of appreciated some of the animation style of the other things, but like I think it worked here. And like, I mean, what did y'all think about the I don't know, logic of her friend who's like, they're gonna die anyway, so screw you for letting them live,
Or yeah,
live longer to suffer, I guess.
Maybe
But,
they could
like,
explain
it was-
that. I think the gist of what she was saying, and we talked about it after.
Yeah, I kind of lost her argument
Yeah,
near the end of it. I kind of figured the friend was going to end up on that side. I didn't really understand her argument at the end for it, but I figured it was going to be an argument like, no, her logic was not quite there. But I got the gist of it.
I think the general thing, or at least when she was saying, you know, you're just as bad, blah blah blah, is because you're helping them, they're surviving longer, therefore suffering longer, that kind of thing.
yeah, it's like I guess, but it's also like, but what if they like don't die? You know, like what if we actually try to change this? It was like, it was weird because it was like a mixed signal of like she feels really bad about this to like she's wanting to like work for them and keep. It was like,
Yeah.
I didn't really get this feeling that it's like she really cares about the 86 not suffering. It was just kind of like, I was kind of with Alex. It just seemed like a little. It was like at first, like when they showed. Which honestly we have to talk about the flashback with her or whatever. It's like I thought that was very heavy and powerful and everything. I just think like maybe the landing with her argument just didn't have the same sort of.
I don't think her like argument really landed, even though I got it. Like I understood what she was going for. I felt like she just kind of like went off the rails with it for a second. I do understand the.
And maybe it didn't help that every time, like her and the other military guy, like whenever they started yelling at Lena, they like basically turned into like their facial expressions was straight up like crazy anime antagonists that, you know,
Indeed,
maybe made that a little more intense than it was supposed to be. But yeah, like this lady called a little kid like a stupid colored. It's like, oh, dude, Jesus Christ.
I know, I saw that. I was like, oh, fuck.
Jesus.
They have slurs going around.
Oof.
indeed.
I mean, it also just shows how kids like racism is a learned thing, not a nature thing. Just a little kid hearing that and then immediately echoing it to the next kid who fits the bill.
Yeah, and kind of doing it from peer pressure or whatever. I mean, it's very,
Yep,
very realistic and everything. And there's some like it was like there's like interesting parallels between the episodes this week from the different shows. It's like the wedding ring. We'll get to that and like other things here or whatever. But like I also thought like this was like somewhat parallel to like the 2-year eternity kid or whatever, and like the way he was treated. I don't know. I just saw like weird parallels between the things this time. But I mean, I think this was handled well. I mean, I think it shows that it's like, okay, we're going full in on like this is a horrible racist society that really needs that's, you know, very warped to the point where it's like obviously it means hair color in here, but the fact that they straight up used a word that it was in real life was used in like the same context is pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see where this goes because we get the general idea probably with about roughly where the season will end. But again, we know there's more like novel material to go.
Yeah.
And again, based on what we saw, the season 2 is actually coming, like already confirmed. So
that's why it makes me wonder, like, if they're already like, because they had already obviously been like. This whole thing, this society's been super racist and everything, but they maybe didn't like shove your nose in it the whole time. They're just like, okay, this is the backdrop, whatever. This was definitely the first episode where they were like, no, we're going there. Like, we're actually making this analogy like hardcore in the show. And it is only season 1, so I'm wondering like how far is that going to go? Like, where is this going to, is this going to be biting political commentary with anime mechs the whole time, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
really, where's that gonna go? Again, not really what I expected from 86 when we picked it or whatever, that we'd be
I expected 86 to be dead.
talking about it being an analogy for like racism and slavery and shit.
Yep.
Pretty intense. But I mean, the end of the episode I think is hype for them leaving. I mean, I expect like I said, I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot. I think there's gonna be a lot of open-ended questions at the end, but I do expect a hype battle and like I expect some hype moments.
No, yeah. Especially with 3 episodes left. This episode ended on notes like, okay, yeah, we're getting to the good shit before, or some good shit before the season ends, and not we're still setting it. You gotta wait till next season.
There's another show I'm a little worried about never getting the payoff for.
Well, that could be. All right, guys, ready to move on?
Yeah, it's good shit.
All righty, let's get that there to the Megalo Box Nomad episode 8 and 9. Megalo Boxing is dangerous.
Another man. Oh yeah, by the way, save. Another man is paralyzed. Last season we had a dude get paralyzed. This season we've had a dude die of a concussion and now also get paralyzed. Damn, guys, there needs to be regulation on this sport. Maybe it's a little too violent.
That's why I said get a better hobby, guys. Like, it's time to get a new hobby.
Now, I see all that's like when. How did Joe survive last season with no gear whatsoever?
There's a reason they called him fucking crazy.
He's a madman. Well,
Naked boy, gearless Joe.
I mean, but you do see, like, if you go back and watch, I mean, I know it's been a while since y'all watched it or whatever, the fights, all of Joe's fights, he always, like, he would be, like, he would be, like, dodging and going, he would, like, never even punch, he would run and just grab them until they canceled the round or whatever. He did a lot of, like, cheesy shit to not get punched or whatever. It's like, you know...
Yeah.
Whereas in this season, I feel like the fights in this season are like, boom, boom, we're going crazy, boss.
Well, Joe, like they even mentioned it in this season. Like his entire strategy was like he would just let the person wear themselves out and then go for a counter punch. Like he was they even mentioned that. So, oh yeah, Joe's counter punch. Whenever they were doing the flashback with it's him and Lou.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, I do appreciate that. I mean, now we're talking about season 1, but I do appreciate that they, like, didn't just have him go out there. He's just a freaking superhuman. It's like, no, he just fought smart. Yeah. But,
yep.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying, like, we only have, like, maybe, like, 5, maybe 6, like, boxing characters that have, like
main characters.
That have reoccurred and everything. And, yeah, 2 of them are paralyzed and one's dead. It's like, what the fuck, guys? Just stop. Just fucking stop. I'm really gonna like struggle to remember what happened in the different like what happened when, but
they're kind of blurred together, honestly.
For sure, but I really do like the Matt character, whatever, him and this kid.
Matt time.
It's like they're definitely setting you up to care about him, and it's like, yeah,
there it is.
I was wondering when they were gonna have a Matt character because I don't know if you noticed the reason Joe's called Joe on Darby. It's from a very famous boxing anime called Nippo. What's it called? Nippo on Joe?
Yeah,
something like that. Like a lot of the big characters are named after either different video games or anime or even actual boxers and stuff like that. So Mac is Lil Mac.
That's awesome.
I was waiting for a Mac character.
He does even look like kind of a bigger Little Mac. Like, I mean,
yeah. Joe doesn't really look like Joe from the other anime. Especially since that anime is from like the 80s or 90s. Don't really share any features.
Well, I mean, this show straight up looks like a 90s anime a lot of times. Like, in a good way. Yeah.
Because it's style.
But, like, I think everyone... We did predict, and everyone should have predicted. It's like, yep, they're going to use this for, like, military shit.
Whoa.
Still don't know, like, how far that's going to go into this or whatever, or, like, how... I think we're starting to get more towards a place where I think things are being laid out, and like there's definitely going to be some arc payoffs that are a little more obvious now. I mean, like like the lady who's the head of the company that used to be with Yuri is like obviously gonna turn on this nerdy billionaire man. I'm still like wondering how like exactly Joe gets on today, and it's starting to look more and more like Joe is gonna be the guy that we're actually following in the boxing thing, because everyone else who's like, hey, I might be the protagonist, keeps getting shot.
Well, and the fact that at the end of this latest episode, they did a newspaper like Max fighting Joe.
Yeah,
and like, wait, when that happened? When was that agreed upon? Are they just putting it out there?
It wasn't.
Yeah, so Joe's like, oh, well, I guess I gotta do it. They're calling me chicken if I don't.
I thought I was out.
I guess I gotta experience some Mac time.
So how close are we to the end of this?
This was episode
8.
9. We got 4
9.
more.
It doesn't. I mean, does it feel like we're like that close to the end, y'all? Like, to y'all?
No,
it really
it
doesn't.
didn't feel like that way when I watched the original one as well. Honestly,
Yeah.
didn't he just cam?
Really? In the original one, it was like building up to the big fight, and it was like this round, then we're going to the semifinals, then we're going to the finals.
I guess depending on where
I mean, yes and no. It felt like it got to the semifinals and the finals really fast. It felt like there should have been more in between. That's my one complaint about Megalo Box, is like it didn't have a lot of meat in between Joe joining the big boxing ring to him being in the tournament and the finals.
Yeah, I see that. At least just it felt like the first one, like, yeah, I kind of agree. Like the very end maybe felt like it was like kind of rushed, but like this, it just feels like this is like we're like way before. This feels like way earlier than that one, where like, you know, it felt like I guess just in Megalobox season 1, you just always knew what the end goal was, and like here it's not as clear. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just like, yeah, they got to wrap this thing up in 4 episodes, and I mean, Megalobox season 2 is a very interesting thing because I don't really think it has like a central theme or like message. And again, not saying that in a bad way. It's more of a character study that you take from it what you will, but it is starting to form more into a, you know, it's like, I think for a long time it was very much like, let's just study Joe in all these different environments, and now we're starting to get a plot together.
Yeah, things are gonna come together.
But it is very late in it to do it. It's a very interesting, weird structure for the show that I definitely didn't expect. You know?
Yeah, I think 4 episodes might be plenty of time to get done what they're doing. I mean, again, I don't know exactly where their in game completely is. Kind of got some idea, but who knows with this? What the show's done so far.
Yeah. I think in general, like I was alluding to before, I think the fight choreography is like a lot better in these fights than season 1. I mean, season 1 was hype, but a lot of the actual boxing started getting very samey. Where it's what did these 2 episodes? One of these 2 episodes was the Mac versus where he gets paralyzed. That fight was fucking brutal.
Oh yeah.
There was nothing in season 1 that ever felt like that. It was just the editing that they did with it.
Whenever Mag Time turned on and just Lou's just getting the shit beat out.
At some point during it's like, okay, you should probably stop this. Ref, you should probably stop this.
Probably after the first punch was thrown, it was like, oh yeah, it's over. And then the second one's like, And then the third happened. It's like, well, he ain't walking again, right?
I started like worrying. Is like, are they gonna pull out? And this man's like the mountain with in Game of Thrones. Something like this man's face is like caved in. I mean, is this gonna like turn into gore horror? I was like, oh my god.
The thing is, the round would have kept going. Like he threw in the towel, and that's what ended it.
Yeah,
the fight was still go. Like they had not called it yet. He would have kept throwing punches.
It's fucked up. So I'm very interested to see if that was like now, like that was the first Mac time. Like, okay, this guy's obviously being used for something horrific or whatever against his will, kind of in a way. If that was the first one, I'm wondering where this is gonna get, because Joe's about to go up against this guy who's a superhuman freak. I'm like, what the?
I'm very curious since they obviously setting up Joe versus Mac, saying that it's happening. I'm curious to see when it happens. Does it happen in the final episode? Does it happen within this upcoming episode or maybe the next one? Or where in these last 4 episodes does this one match happen?
Yeah, I would have like in season 1. It definitely would have been a like let's build up to it for a few episodes. And this season, it's weird. Some things they do build up to, but then sometimes they surprise you, and it's like boom, here we go. Like,
I don't think it happened in this next episode. I imagine they'll kind of, since Joe kind of mentions he's kind of more out of it, kind of do a little conditioning and stuff, a little more character stuff maybe, then go into it.
Yeah. And what do we think about Satoru? I mean,
he's a moody teen.
He is very moody.
Everyone else
Very
is kind of just like, yep, Joe's back. Took us a little minute to get used to it, but yeah, he's back.
It's like, all right, Satoru, time to get over yourself a little bit,
but that's pretty like on-nose moody team like reaction.
He is. I'm wondering where they're going with him, because like they're going more back into the boxing thing. I still just like I can't exactly figure out. I mean, there's whatever it is, it's gonna be dramatic. It's gonna be dramatic and very teenage.
No, at the last episode, Joe is going to be like, "No, I am not fighting you, Mac," and he's going to pull a Goku, and Satoru is going to go in there, and Satoru's just going to get his ass.
I'm about to say die. This kid's gonna be die.
He's going to pull a Goku and be like, "That's my son up there," and just watch his ass get kicked.
And that's the end. Yeah, I mean, like, they were hinting so much that, like, this is not what Satoru wants to do. So there definitely has to be some flip where it's like, he stops doing this, because it really wouldn't make sense if this is like, no, Satoru loves this.
Yeah.
It'd be like,
Everyone's like, well, he kind of sucks at it. But gotta be an engineer, Satoru.
I mean, this world looks like it's a shithole. It needs some, like, other smart people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, have they ever actually really said, like, because it looks like they're just in like a almost dystopia type thing. At least every time they show like outside the rings, they're just in a desert wasteland where people can apparently steal a deed to a place and then have the place, and it just seems like a lawless wasteland.
Yeah.
Like, did something happen? Are we in like the year 2165 or something?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They just kind of do what they want.
Yeah. Fair.
Alrighty. Odd Taxi episodes 8 and 9.
Ooh, babe.
Scar it, actually unwatchable. Literally scarring.
Worst
actually
trash.
Unwatchable. It did not do it in episode 9, but 7, I just didn't mention it when we reviewed it, but they did it in the 8. They did this fucking short-ass version of the main theme of the opening, and it just ruins the entire vibe going into the show. Unwatchable, scarring.
You know what? He's got a point.
They luckily did not do it for episode 9, or I've literally just stopped watching. I would not have watched the episode. Unwatchable.
I did think there was something. Okay, I'm glad you said that. Okay, I did think there was something that was like, something felt off for a second, and I didn't really catch
they
what it
did,
was.
instead of a 1.5-minute version, they did a minute version of the theme, and they cut out a lot of the good parts, and I'm upset, and just unwatchable, actually. Ruined the entire vibe going into the show.
Well, Alex is right, I guess.
Yeah. Well, bye, Odd Taxi.
Not a chance in fucking hell. This fucking show, guys.
Well, yeah, the actual content of the show is fine, but the vibe going in's ruined.
Yeah.
Guys, this is like one of my favorite animes of all time. I feel
so
okay.
many storylines going
saying
on.
that.
Yeah.
So many storylines going on. They're just all intersecting.
And intersecting in just like such a rapid pace, like in a good way. It's not moving too fast. It's just like I love it. I can't get fucking enough of it. And it's crazy to think in the first like 2 or 3 episodes or something, we're like, yeah, it's very slow pace, like slowly building this mystery. Now, like, so many things happen in half an episode that I'm like, God damn, the fuck.
Yup.
And just like every single plot thread gets tied in somewhere, because they're like, he says the 1 billion yen or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, there's this like guy who won the lottery and got 1 billion yen. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, okay, here we go.
Yeah, Okar's like, yeah, you should go into hiding some, you know?
and just how much I like love these characters and they like feel so fleshed out. I think Dobu is like one of my favorite characters at this point. He's like really, really well written. And I love like, yeah, he just like immediately he fights this other guy's choking him out doing all this, but then when whatever internet man comes at
Hippo
him
man.
with a gun, he just immediately just starts like talking to him about his self-esteem and everything.
But also, like, because of me trouble, so give me your car.
I love that too. Dude. He did this very like self-righteous, very like happy motivational speech, but then he's like,
Robs him.
"Oh, but if you're offering me your car and your house, I'm gonna take it." So I'm absolutely gonna take it.
Also, like,
I'm trying to remember what all happened because god dang, there's so much.
there's some synopses on the Wikipedias
Okay.
for the two.
Just remind us some stuff. I want to do it justice because both of these episodes were incredible. I'm trying to remember last week because y'all were both saying like, "Oh, y'all wait for it," and it was crazy. That was great, but in this last episode went so much further that I kind of already forgetting.
Let's see, blah blah blah. Kakihana gets tortured, doesn't have any money. Shiho's like, "Yo, I don't want to do this." Tells Kakihana, "Nah,
Yeah.
you suck,
Well,
man."
Just the scene of him saying, "Is like they're making you say that, right? Like that was a joke, right, or whatever." And whenever he just breaks down, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Garuki invites Otokara out for a drink and tries to find out the source behind his apparent synesthesia, or however you pronounce it.
Synesthesia.
I know I've heard about that before, but don't know much about it. I mean, no, it's like a
Yeah,
real world
I
thing.
should have did a quick Google search, but I did not.
I definitely know I've heard about it. But they have straight up at this point confirmed that all this is in his head with the animal thing because they had the whole calico cat thing again, and then the picture where they're like, he can tell who this is. I mean, it's like 100% confirmed at this point.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, what did y'all think about the monkey guy being interrogated and everything? Because I thought that was like again some of the best like actual just voice and facial acting. Again, like the faces that these like characters make are
Brutal, man.
it's like yeah.
And the rapping.
The
let's
actual
go.
voice acting to it was really, really good. I really liked it,
And yeah,
especially just the content in the little Palico girl's voice. I said Palico, god damn it, Calico cat girl,
Yeah.
damn monster.
And like, how is that guy able to be intimidating while rapping everything he does?
I know.
So good.
I also love Yano.
Yeah, Yanu.
Yeah. I love his character so much.
Yep.
So good.
I mean, like, he should just be a wacky goofball, which he kind of is, but you're also kind of scared of him. 'Cause he's definitely has an intimidating presence. Whenever that thing, whenever he was rapping, he was like, "You better start talking before you forget how to talk to her again," or whatever he pulls out and says, is calling his mom. It was so smooth the way that he did it all. And we're not even getting the correct rhymes and everything because it's English, but it was something. It was like just so like he was doing this, and then like it timed perfectly with like before you forget how to talk or something. It was like really good and kind of terrifying.
Yeah. Then we got Otokara kind of setting Dobu up, trying to tape him about his plans to rob the bank and everything.
Yeah.
All that, and yeah, we think in Otokara realizing, oh, Kakihana's in trouble because it's like, wait, the calico cat.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's where I've seen that cat from.
Yep.
Oh no.
Well, again, the tangled web of everything, like she was in his cab and he knew the location, all this or whatever, like it all just kind of like comes back around. And he also had to have the dog manager to like know all of this too. And it's like,
also, again, like them near the pier and all of a sudden like fucking Odokawa like looking into the water and Nobu being like, "Huh, you scared of water?" And he's like, "Well, no." And thinking about the girl that's body that was found over the pier.
Yeah.
That might have been in Okawa's closet. It's like, oh god.
Ah, Jesus.
Yeah.
Did he actually?
I guess we haven't heard about the girl in a bit, and the closet. It's still so much. Yeah, this one we still got 4 episodes left.
Dude, I can't fucking wait. God. It's like, I like all of these shows, but there is a pretty, and I'm sorry I even include To Your Eternity in that. There's a pretty big gap. Like, I love this show.
I'm kind of there right now at the moment.
Sam.
To Your Eternity is still great, but it's a more long-running thing.
Yeah.
Where, its pacing has kind of slowed down some, where Odd Taxi is like, no, we are getting a resolution to all this stuff during the season.
To Your Eternity can be a great show as a whole, and it still is a great show right now. But as in this season, Odd Tax is having the best season. Duh.
Yeah.
It's
almost not even fair because like they're telling like what is going to be a very compact short,
You're talking about To Your Eternity. It could be like a 50+ episode show to a 12 episode, 13 episode show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But this is just so much my jam in a way that I didn't really expect the show to end up being this. And I still it already just vibe wise, I was liking it, and I was liking the slow pace, like in the taxi, learning more about the city. But then it's paced so perfectly because it was slow to get you to know all these different characters and all these different plot lines and everything. And it went slow enough to where like you could really grasp onto them and understand them. And then it was like, okay, you got it? Okay. 80 miles per hour. Let's go.
We had a whole episode focus. We had one episode focused on a flashback of one character.
I know.
And because of that, every time he comes up, it means that much more. I mean, imagine how much less weight this would have if he was just a random masked shooter that you didn't know. I mean, it would be like a mystery, but like it means a lot more now.
And on that note, we gotta mention the fact that he did attack them again today in a van.
I mean, he straight up bullet at his head was about to kill him. There was no he's gonna chicken out at the last second. Like, no, that man is trying to kill him.
Yep.
Nobu was shot twice today.
Yes.
Well, the second time, I thought he was just like shot through the chest and was gonna die. I'm like, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And that was right when it was like legit. Like, I like really, really like Dobu on these episodes. I mean, he's kind of a piece of shit, but I like him too anyway.
Mm-hmm. I like how let's see.
And Greeky, I love all of these characters, dude.
Okay, yeah. So something I want to bring
so
up though, the second time Dobu was shot, it was not the Hippo Man who shot him. So
Yeah,
you say he didn't have a gun, right? Yeah. So it was probably
it was the other one. Yeah. It's just he shot him and walked away because he didn't see Otokawa with him.
Okay.
He more shot him to get him out of the way.
Definitely when that second time, I think they showed the gun again in his hand. He was wearing the blue hoodie that the
I didn't see like
was.
if they said who or what. I think Dobu said thought it was him, but I didn't see anything confirmation.
Yeah,
but it sounds like you guys might have saw something.
I don't know if there was confirmation. I think you were supposed to be a little confused. You were supposed to think that it was him at first, but then he said...
I do like how for Kabasara, you saw him earlier having sex with that groupie or whatever, and he's just a troubled man. And the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Isn't this dude 17?
He's in college.
Okay.
It's like 18, 19.
It started out very domestic violence-y, but then he just ends up being a crying goofball by the end. So it's there's a lot of him and Mystery Kiss guy are the biggest idiots on this fucking show.
I don't know. Fucking the monkey.
Yeah.
They're all pretty stupid. And then whenever he threw the ring, I'm like, you fucking moron! You could sell that.
He went back and get it.
I know he went back and got it. I know.
And we end the last episode with some Otokawa bombshells about the whole thing with the house or the homeowner or whatever. Like, oh yeah, his parents are dead. Have been dead.
And so I'm kind of a dummy and I can miss some things when it goes back. So his parents were dead or whatever, and he was just in this like orphanage type group or something. But
it's like some government thing was pretty much paying for his.
Yeah, yeah. So in Japan, this happens to some other anime. Like, they will pay kid. It was also the same thing as Super Cub. She's basically getting checks from the government, and she basically lived on her own. It's the same thing that like Okawa went through as well.
Okay.
Like, kids don't really get sent to group homes unless they're super young. They basically get their own apartment paid for. Basically,
Crazy.
they live on their own.
If you did that with American kids, the apartment would burn down.
Yeah, they would. It would.
Yeah.
But he's like overpaying basically back, like he's paying rent. or
Yeah,
something for
and the land lady's like kind of. I think she said she's just keeping it. Whatever the money Otokawa gives to send back to the government thing, she's like, no, I'm keeping it.
Well, not for herself.
No.
Yeah,
I know, and I
Gotcha. Yeah.
just to, I guess, have for
Yeah,
him.
she even mentioned giving it back to him.
Yeah. And that was it. So like when Greeky went there, did she say like he's not going to be back for a while or something?
He's moving out.
Right? I mean, like so
Because the shooter shot into there, so he wants to move out just in case.
get the heat off
Try-
of them.
Yeah.
But like, so has he already moved? Because like I'm just thinking about the
No.
closet girl too. Because like that's the great,
No, he hasn't moved yet.
No.
She said he was going to move or is.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, this gets interesting. And Greeky's basically just turning into an investigative reporter.
Yes.
I don't think doctors really do that, but
He's a special
Not
doctor.
American doctors.
I mean, he's not even really a doctor anymore. He's about to not have a practice. I guess he'll still be a doctor. Yeah. Shit got crazy.
Indeed.
Yeah, and that was the other parallel I was talking about, was him throwing out the ring. It was just struck me that the very same week, To Your Eternity, the boy gives away the ring.
Yeah.
For like, yeah. I mean, I think it means a little more To Your Eternity, but it just, when I was watching the Odd Taxi one, I was like, wow, this is really weird that in the same week people were like giving away their wealth in the shape of a ring.
We'll get to Gugu.
We will get to Cuckoo.
But first, we must talk about Shadow's House, episodes 7 and 8.
I love that I've just never corrected it says Shadow House there, because it just is a better name, and I've just never corrected it.
They've had an apostrophe S, because it would be a house owned by the Shadows, but no.
Yeah.
Shadows plural.
The house is not made by shadows. I'll say, gentlemen, I thought about scarring this week. It crossed my mind. I'm not, but I would like the show to pick up.
I will say they definitely have been in this little maze for a little bit. A little bit.
And we've just done the like, Rum's really sad, let's cheer her up, yeah, we can do it, for like 4 straight episodes. And I'm like, okay, you could have done that twice and you'd already done that before. It does kind of feel like we're spinning our wheels. Like, it almost feels like, yeah, they have source material and they're just trying to not go through it too fast or something. Or it's like, I don't know if the season should have been shorter, or just like in general, or like Alex said, we've just been in this one thing. Like, this whole maze arc should have been 2 episodes. You could have condensed a lot of this down to two episodes, I think.
I feel like maybe they could do better in the pacing, but I don't know. Like, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I completely agree with condensing everything down to 2 episodes. Well, because we are getting stuff for individual Shadow Lord, like the Shadow Lords or whatever, and the dolls or whatever.
Yeah,
I agree with both sentiments that it's taking too long. I don't think 2 episodes would have been much, but I also do like the little drips of lore. I also do agree that the actual interactions between the dolls have gotten stale for now, just because there has not been anything more to really pushed them yet.
Right, they're kind of like just recycling the same situations. I mean, I guess I agree that the drip feed of lore with the other, we're seeing the shots of the people up there and Edward and the other people. Like, I mean, I like how that's slowly being drip fed, so that stuff makes sense. But it feels like the in between times, like especially when we're just going to the dolls who are going through the maze. It felt like a Miloko and Rum, and even Draco Malfoy boy and redheaded girl. Don't remember people's names. These different pairings, like I feel like they didn't have they didn't have enough ideas for them to last this whole time. So it's like we're kind of just doing the same Emilico cheers her up thing like over and over again. Like, well, everyone else is interesting, you know, like there's little bits of interesting stuff, but then there's bits of well, we gotta do something, you know, we gotta like make something happen here. Shit. That's just how it felt to me. It feels like this is the first time that I feel like, all right, it's starting to feel like padded and less like meaningful interactions that I'm watching, if that makes sense. I'm still enjoying it, but
yeah.
You know.
Yes, I have watched a lot of shonen, so I do agree the padding is there. But damn, I've watched a lot of shonen, so the padding kind of just rubs off as long as the payoff, which is hopefully this episode, is nice.
Mm-hmm. For like the whole Rum thing, I don't feel like they've done too much with that. Like, I don't know. I feel like they don't focus on that as much.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
it seems like every episode.
I mean, the girl has a lot of problems. Takes more than 2 sentences to fix it. But it looks like they kind of had a little breakthrough with that last one more than I would say the other ones did. So
I think there will probably be one more. I think there will probably be one more thing with Rum, but it will be with her and her Shadow Master.
Yeah,
probably this episode.
I'll completely agree with you if they continue with that from now on. But I feel like what they're doing, it's fine enough, and then with this last thing, it's like, okay, it's like we're coming to a
I think they've had the breakthrough, and then you'll have like the actual resolution with the Shadow Master in this next episode. Or if it's not this episode, it will be within this season of the show. Like it's happening.
Yeah, because at least for this one,
out of her shell.
I feel like they can end at a regular start because this is one we got 5 episodes left for this season.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still plenty of time to make sure it happen.
Yeah.
So I kind of mean that at least not like, okay, they'll do this for the rest of the season and then there's like nothing else. Yeah. If that was the case, I'd be like, okay, yeah, come on.
I'm not worried about them having enough time where they theoretically could. I'm just getting slightly worried that like all this build up is not gonna be worth whatever does happen at the end here. I'm getting slightly worried about that. And I'm not even saying I'm not there yet. Like I want to keep watching this. I'm just like letting it be known this is the first time that I feel like I'm starting to I can see the end of my rope. You know, it's like, all right. Like before it's like I'm all in, but this is the first time I'm like, all right, something needs to happen. Or because if something satisfying doesn't happen by the end of this season, I'm not going to want to watch season 2. I'm starting to get to that point where I didn't think it was possible for me to not want to watch season 2. Now I'm like, yeah, I could not want to watch season 2 if something doesn't happen in these 5 episodes, you know.
I can understand that.
That's ultimately where I'm at.
Trying to think what other stuff.
We had the fucking basically like it was Dio all along at the end with Edward.
I don't know what went on with
that.
That
was like really
weird. did his shadow thing possess him? Was he always a shadow? Do dolls at a certain point ascend the shadows? What the fuck was that?
Yeah, dude, the shadows at some point literally become the dolls, or dolls literally become the shadows. Like something's up.
But it's not very clear which direction that's going. Like, I didn't know if he became a shadow or if he was always a shadow. I feel like maybe we should go back and like look at what those people, like his like 2 friends, said to him, because there was definitely they were like saying some things that like they're up to something, but I didn't quite understand what they were.
It wouldn't surprise me because if you look at his outfit, they made it very clear in episode 1. That a doll cannot wear a master's like outfit, and the entire time Edward is wearing a very like outgoing outfit.
You're right.
Yeah. It does straight up look like some of the
yeah, and so is the other dolls that he's like hanging, the older dolls that was with him, the other 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to know, and that whole like outro scene thing was just like so weird, and it's like, okay.
I love it when shows do those like weird outros, like those one and done outros. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I
It
mean,
was really weird.
I like them too. It was like this. I was just really trying. I was like, okay, so what does? It's like,
Oh no,
obviously,
no! I could not understand what was happening. It was just a lot of Edward's face.
I guess another thing about that was I think they made a comment about weird that he could play the piano or something. And now it's like, okay, that makes sense. Especially when his suit became the musical notes when he did. I'm like, that was cool.
it was a weird. Like he had the whole like that effect. Like there's better things than sight, but like the Valorant skins, like where you move but it doesn't move. You know, the pattern on his suit didn't move when he moved. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's weird. Yeah, and so I mean, there are definitely. This is why I think I'm sounding more negative than I want to sound, because like, there's things like that it's like, yeah, I want to know what the hell's. I mean, there's plenty of things that they can do to make this feel very satisfying at the end, and one of them is like what the fuck just happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm officially at the point with all these shows at this point, and could change my mind where I'm at least going to ride the seasons out for all of these at this point. Or I feel like it, unless they really jumps up, like they really falls down a cliff.
Probably for me, once I've invested this much, I'd like to at least get through a season and then just like fully judge it.
Yeah.
Once I'm this far committed, usually by episode 6 for a lot of things, if I'm already that far, like, oh, I'm in it. Here we go.
Yeah, especially when I'm enjoying.
I did the same. I did the same thing with. Did the same thing with Sword Art. I was like, oh, okay, well, it's episode 15. This is absolutely garbage, but you know what? Sticking with it.
Yeah, but I'm with you with the whole. Yeah, if we don't get payoff for this stuff for any significant kind, then if a season 2 comes out, I'll be more like, eh.
Yeah, like this, you can't delay the payoff to next season when this entire season has been about delayed gratification. Yeah. You can't.
And again, I'm kind of confident we'll get something. Because again, there are 5 episodes left.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of respect it. I think a lot of people will tune out of this show before they get to the end of this first season just because of how it's paced. I mean, I think that's somewhat intentional, but it's like it's supposed. It's just like, yeah, you just need to have. I mean, obviously they're going to leave a lot of things for you to speculate going to season 2, but there needs to be something to cling on to. Yeah. And I'm there with you with almost all these things or whatever, and even Shadow House I want to see to the end. I mean, all the rest of these that are I guess it's really just To Your Eternity and 86. Like right now, I'm like, yeah, I really struggle to see how I wouldn't be jonesing to go to season 2 or whatever. And Shadow House, I think I'll probably be in the same place, but it's like they've delayed the satisfaction so long that I'm like slightly worried that it has a lot to live up to, but I think they can do it for sure.
All right, to end off the show, To Your Eternity, episode 7 and 8. The story of Gugu.
Gugu. Will he ever find his Gaga?
Let's see. Do I have the thing?
It was in his stomach all along. Oh wait, that was
so I knew whenever the man like got him or whatever, and he like grabbed the stomach and he had like this big barrel thing on his stomach, and then they never really referenced it again. I was like, what did he do to the boy's stomach?
I don't know. Yeah. I did bring up potentially it was just they wanted to change the design, so it's just that way. Like, I don't know. There is
no. They drew way too much attention. He was like, my stomach.
Yeah. Pretty fucked up.
But then they waited like a whole 2 episodes to actually say what the fuck's going on. I'm like, yeah, what?
Yep.
Oof.
Alex, you're like a smart man. Is that like, can you put a barrel of alcohol in someone's chest and them not have any like?
Well, it's not in his actual stomach. It's basically like. It's in his stomach, but it's in like a sack that's like fed through his nose, apparently. It looks like. And basically he's using the heat of his organs to help ferment it. Which is a little fucked up. I guess you could do that. It wouldn't affect it as long as it's insulated good enough. But oof.
Yeah.
Not really a bro thing to do, you know? Not very
Not very cash money.
not very poggers of him. Especially without consent. That's a little
Yeah.
I wonder how long they let us watch this whole thing before they revealed it. Oh yeah, I did that.
Yep.
and think, it's not going to kill you. Like, well,
I love that they reveal it or whatever, and then it just like hangs on Boozman, and then it just cuts straight to I'm out of here. It's like peace, deuces, and he like.
I wonder why he's so upset.
a reasonable human reaction. Like, I'm out. Like, what?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was really funny to me. He's just like, I mean, like, gone.
This poor kid's life, man. It's just not really going his way, is it?
No.
Yeah, it was definitely very sad. It was doing the thing again. We make you really care about this innocent young child, and now we're gonna like drag him through the mud. I was like, holy shit.
We might not kill this one. We might mutilate, fill it with alcohol,
Oh my god.
and absolutely destroy its entire life, but we won't kill this one, maybe. Maybe.
He gets to live, and that's punishment enough.
Yeah, he will be robbed, ridiculed, and looked down upon on society. But damn it, he's alive this time.
And the fucking way he gives the fucking ring up, and he's like, even if I'm rich, I'll always be a monster. He has a chance to be a real human being. I'm like, god damn it, like fuck off. The fuck out of here with this shit.
Especially to your shitty brother.
Yeah.
Give it to some random hobo on the street. Don't give it to him.
Which that did happen so quick and nonchalantly that I was like, wait a minute, wait, that's his brother. Okay, that's his brother. He just like turned the corner and he's like, oh hey brother, here's this ring. I'm like, wait, what?
Lame, I need more than me.
I thought your brother left. I thought you went somewhere else. I was like, he's just like,
He did.
Yeah.
It looks like he spent all the money, is now a drunkard.
You can't do
Living
shit
the good life.
as far as work goes.
no.
Now he has a ring to spend even more money on.
But I also like that like Booze Man sucks, but it's like everyone else in their little like house also kind of sucks because no one went after him. Like the girl was like, someone should go after him. They're like, yeah, someone should. Anyway, let's just let the immortal
Fushi
orb.
literally only went after him, not because of him in particular, just because I need to learn to clean. That was it. That's the only reason Fushi went after it too. This kid's life.
Oh my god. I mean, the fact that, like, yeah, he, like, left, that he just, like, learned the scarring thing that the leader of this house did to him, and he left. And then they proceed to spend, like, what was it, 4 or 5 nights just letting the immortal orb try to cook things, and it turned into, like, the bad, like, bleh, like, it turned into a whole anime bit, and I'm like, guys, the boy!
Yeah.
They didn't care that much.
Sleeping
It's
on
like,
the street.
they just lost their cook, and they're just like, who's going to cook? That's it. That's all they care about. It's like I guess Orb's going to cook. Wow, he really sucks at it. And we're still not going to attempt.
Well, we'll still let Orb cook. Maybe he'll get
We'll
better.
still let Orb cook.
And then, like, the fact that this rich girl just
worry,
lives in this scenario, and, like, Booze Man did this, and she's like, all right, I'm going to keep living here. It's like, what are you doing here? Leave. Why the hell are you sticking around here?
Don't worry. As soon as Fushi learns how to cook and clean, they'll cook Goo Goo out again. Like, sorry, your usefulness has been used up. The immortal orb can do it for us now. Fuck. Dang it.
It's not really where I expected this plot to go. I'm not even saying this in a bad way, but it's like, I don't understand, like, rich girls' motivations whatsoever. It's fucking hilarious.
Cute boy.
But even that seems like that's died down. I mean,
Well,
it's like,
I feel like when she first got there, it sounded like there might have been something going on at her house or
Yeah.
something. She might be escaping from there. Well, I'm sure will come up again.
well, she just becomes part of these antics. She just walks in one day, and then now she's like, it basically becomes a sitcom.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Fushi, you and your bad cooking. If they just
Time to clean.
he throws like the vegetables in there, just like.
It's literally like, because I actually kind of like it because it's literally someone who's seen someone cook, so they understand. You put food on fire with water, and it makes it taste good. He just doesn't understand the combinations of food. He's like, beet goes in water, tastes good.
Is he
All
me?
that needs to be done.
Is he me?
Yeah.
I think that's me. I've seen people cook things.
Turn into a giant bear.
Yeah. So you think they're gonna let Gugu live? But I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this.
Not sure.
No. Something bad will happen
I
at
think,
some
like,
point.
I think Jeff said, it will probably be something with that rich family.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
And maybe with the group Gugu's brother was a part of as well.
Yeah.
Whoever that was.
Yeah, potentially something with that group of men who tried to kidnap Gugu
Yeah.
at the end there.
Yeah, they were gonna sell him out. Yeah, and that whole thing, I'm like, oh my god, like, yeah, you're not gonna kill the kid, but you're gonna like sell him into slavery. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
What if Fushi didn't show up and they just really sold the kid, and that's the last you saw of the kid in the entire show, and then they're still just at home Fushi trying to learn how to cook and clean.
Oh my god.
Oh, I miss
That's where it left
Gugu. And then 20 episodes later, we're at the kind of Fushi gets at some kind of slave camp and Gugu's there.
Yeah.
And Gugu is like the antagonist of one of these stories, and you're like, good, kill him, like Gugu, you deserve this. Like Gugu, kill these assholes. Yeah, Gugu actually just becomes the main antagonist after. That's an antagonist I could get behind. Like, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
Fair.
Yep.
At least, I mean, Fushi, I mean, he's basically a child. I'll accept that he doesn't understand some of these things or whatever, but it's like the rest of y'all are just pieces of shit.
It's like Gugu hurt Fushi testing his immortality thing. I understand why Fushi's like, no, that hurt me. No, won't Gugu. I understand that mentality.
Something about watching Fushi just do a bunch of dumb things is satisfying to me.
Oh boy. That's all the anime this week.
Some good shit. Good shit. Make sure you tune back in next week. Same time, same place. YouTube.com/nerdsatlarge or twitch.tv/nerdsatlarge gaming for the live stream. If you're a gamer, check out our E3 shit. We're doing E3 shit at twitch.tv/nerdsatlarge gaming.
Oh, yeah.
There'll probably be anime games.
Yes.
You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe a 2-year Eternity game, and then you get to transform into a bunch of things.
Mortal Orb.
And disrespect little boy that needs your help. Try to cook. It's actually just a cooking game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh god.
All right. Peace.
Bye-bye.